Welcome to the 142nd episode of the MC Knitting Adventures podcast. My name's Colleen.
And my name is May. Welcome, returning viewers. And for those of you watching us for the first time, we're so glad you could join us today. Now, in our last podcast, if you remember, Colleen and I were having a discussion. Will we squeeze one in before Christmas? Will we not squeeze one in before Christmas? Well, we're here. So there's the answer. We are here. We're so glad to be here so we can say Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy holidays to everybody out there before the big day. Now, we've been doing, we've been very busy with our little show. That's why we didn't know if we were going to do a podcast or not. So our craft show, we're going to talk about that in our adventure piece. Mm-hmm. Also at the craft show, we ran into a couple of our craft show buddies, Jen and Marge. Mm-hmm. They're mother-daughter. Right. And Marge is a mom, and Marge does a lot of the knitting. So
yes, it's beautiful.
When we talk about our adventure, that will be in the piece where we talk about our craft fair. Right. The daughter is Jen, and Jen does candles. Mm-hmm. And they were at the craft fair, and they, when we do craft fairs like that, it's always nice to have some buddies and some people that you can kind of chat with and kibitz with. So it was great to have them there. And we'll talk about what Colleen's been up to, making Christmas gifts, getting things ready, baking, cooking, all those good things that we do. We rush around. Can't wait to talk to you about everything that's been going on. And before we get into all of that, Colleen will talk about what we're wearing.
So May is wearing something that...
I'm wearing something.
It's hard. She hardly takes it off. Yeah. So it is called the Riverlands Bandana Cowl, and that's by Melissa Mahy. And I've made it with a couple of different yarns before. This one is the Loops and Threads Ring Spun Acrylic Blend. So there's no picky around your neck at all. And how do you find that, May?
Well, I just was undoing it there just to show you it doesn't all get all gather up and bunch up and everything like that. Cowl. And so it's really quite nice underneath things. I wear it every time I go outside because I just feel that wind chill the other day was like minus 17. Something like that. So just around our neck was just the bomb. So I love it.
That's good.
I love it.
Good. I'm glad. And easy to do. You still got a week a bit if you're making Christmas presents. That one is a good one to try.
Now, Colleen gifted one to one of our pickleball buddies, Janice, and we love Janice. She plays pickleball with us at the Huff and Puff, and also she plays pickleball with us at Green Hills.
Right.
And Janice says she loves it and she never takes it off.
Okay. So there you go. It's a popular thing. Yes. There we are. Now, what I am wearing is, it's called the Turtle Dove by Melissa Clulow. And she used to be one of the owners of Espace Tricot in Montreal. And the wool that it's in is called Cadia Concept Cotton Merino. Do you think I can find the ball band? No. This was before, I knit this before I now put, wherever I have my pattern, I have the ball band.
This was before you did
that. Was before I started doing that.
Nice.
It is.
It's nice. Perfect for this weather.
Exactly. And it's nice to have it up around my neck because I haven't made myself one of those yet. So that's that. So that's what I'm wearing. And next we're going to talk about finished objects. My first finished object is a pair of mitts. And it's fingerless mitts. And I'm just going to show you that. May can actually put them on.
Oh, this will be nice.
And so these are a pattern that's called the Country Christmas Mitts, and that's by K.F. Jones of the Bakery Bears. Now you have to be a patron of them. It is their Advent design. So there's two parts. This is the first one. So you need to do some fancy stuff, and then you actually do duplicate stitch, which I haven't done a lot of, and I really, really like those.
So the secret is out.
The secret is out. Those ones are already through, so I don't feel badly about showing
those. Those are nice. They feel great on.
They do. Now, the white is Cascade Heritage, a solid sock yarn. And then the variegated is Malabrigo sock. And the colorway is Zarzamora.
I was just thinking I could be a hand model.
You could. You could.
My hand's a little chubby, but and my nails aren't done.
Oh,
and I have
maybe
those,
not.
I have those little side things. Okay, forget that.
They're called hangnails, but that's okay. We don't want the world to know you have hangnails.
I have hangnails. No modeling going on.
No modeling
I think
going
I'd be fired.
Okay, that's all right.
All right. Those are
So
lovely,
I
though.
still haven't blocked them, but they look pretty good for not blocking them. So I've got that part done. I think the second part, no, they've told it the second part is a hat. So I'm just getting ready to start that. And so I'm excited to see how that turns out.
That's nice.
Now, my next finished object is, it's kind of like the tea towel that I crochet, but this is done by sewing. So there is what it is. So you get yourself some fabric, and then this is half of a hand towel is what that is. And then
There's a snap.
So there's a snap, and then it could loop over whatever it needs to loop over.
Now, some of the cooks, what they say is they put that on their belt.
Oh, excellent.
Just to have it on the side, so their belt loop or their...
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
And this one happens to have hockey on it.
Right.
And my son is a Toronto Maple Leaf fan.
Right.
And so these are kind of Toronto Maple Leaf colors.
Right.
We do have a Toronto Maple Leaf fabric.
Which I am going to try and get done.
Yes.
Before
And
Christmas.
and this is going to be for spring. This has just got hockey on it. It's
Right.
not the Toronto Maple Leaf
Yes.
fabric, but they're really going to like those.
I think so.
Yes.
I think they'll like them.
And do we want to talk about the fabric because it's Toronto Maple Leaf? It's copyrighted.
We can talk about it.
Yeah. What happened at this craft fair when we were there? I saw these towels and it had the Toronto Maple Leaf, and I bought it.
Right.
And I was very excited about it.
Right.
But and talking to another person at the craft fair
Right.
who did some sewing,
Right.
said that when you have copyright fabric like the NHL,
Right.
Disney,
Right.
all those things,
Yeah.
there's a big fine of about $10,000. I don't know how true that is.
okay.
If that's hearsay, if you know, let me know.
That's right.
But you can't sell it. We weren't planning on
No,
selling
no.
copyright fabric. That's why this is perfect.
Right.
It's got hockey,
Exactly.
hockey helmet, hockey sticks, but no NHL.
Right.
You could sell this, but you
Right.
couldn't sell the one that you're making for my son.
Right.
You can make them as a gift,
Right.
but you couldn't sell them at the market.
Right.
Anyway, I think they turned out nice, and I
Yeah.
think they're a great gift for the guys.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, I could see you doing a tutorial on this.
Yes.
And possibly doing one, like, you know, with dogs. People love the dog tea
Right,
towels and that
exactly.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, and I love that, the hand towel.
That's a great idea.
Because it's nice and thick.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm
That
looking
turned
forward
out
to it.
really nice. I like how you folded it here like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's
so it
great.
should be good.
Yeah, nice gift.
All right. So that is the prototype. And I'll do the other one somewhere within the next week. It's going to get done. Now, the other thing that I've been working on is pillowcases. So I've tried to make pillowcases for a lot of people because I just decided people have had their hats and had their scarves and had their mitts and,
And
had,
socks.
and socks, and so it's like, okay, what different could I do?
And
I thought,
also, the other side of that coin is you want to give your hands a little bit rest
Yes.
from the knitting part because
That's
it
true.
starts to get tendonitis and knitters, whatever.
knitters,
it is.
whatever. Yeah.
So I think you thought, I'm going to sew everybody
Exactly.
a gift rather
Yep.
than knitting. 'Cause then you
Exactly.
can give yourself
Yeah,
a
I
little
kept
break.
saying to me, once the show's over, I got to get sewing. So let's talk about where we started. So we were talking about Scott and his love of hockey. So
My son loves hockey, and
So
these
here
are.
is the first one. So
This-
it's the original 6 teams. I love this blue. It's
I
so
know it's. I
great.
like how you matched that up, or
No.
they matched that up. This
They
one came
did.
in a
Now
packet
this
of
came.
packet.
This was a kit, and it's interesting because the kit talked about how to change things up if it was directional fabric. This is directional fabric. It didn't give me enough fabric to do the switch,
Oh.
so that's why it is the way that it is. But I think Scott's going to be okay with that. I think he'll be fine.
And it has Blackhawks, Montreal, Toronto Maple Leafs, New York, and
Boston, Detroit. Yep.
Detroit. Now, the thing is, this is one of those copyright fabrics that you wouldn't be able to sell this at a
Right.
show,
Right.
but it's certainly nice as a gift.
Right.
So that's really nice.
That.
Yes.
Now, for May's mom, shall we tell them the joke about what's the joke?
Yeah, it's kind of it's a little bit of a joke.
Okay.
Years ago, my mom and I went to a trip to Scotland,
Mm-hmm.
and we were from this little tiny town called Saltcoats. And there's not really much to do in Saltcoats. Once you've gone down to the local store, I can't imagine 2 weeks there. I think we were there. We may have even been there for 3 weeks. And
Okay.
I thought, I can't do this for 3 weeks. It was lovely. The people are lovely.
Right.
So I thought I would head down to, I think I thought down to England to Dover, and then I thought I will take the ferry over, and then I will go to Paris, France.
Okay.
So I went away. I told my mom I was going to go to Paris, and she's like, "Oh, okay." So I went and I got my ticket, but the bus that I was going to take down to England didn't leave until later on that evening because it was kind of a night bus.
Okay.
So meanwhile, my mom said, and this is what my mom does, she says, "Oh, I'll just come with you." And I was like, "Okay." And the bus is leaving tonight, so we packed our little bags, got on this bus. The whole bus thing, the bus broke down. That was a whole other story. The bus broke down on the way. People changed buses. Some guy was drinking, thought he was on the other bus.
Oh, no.
Different. He says, he woke up, he says, "I'm in a different seat." And his buddy goes, "We changed buses." He didn't even know we changed buses. That whole adventure, I could write a book about that.
You probably could.
We get to Dover, England.
Mm-hmm.
My plan was to stay in England overnight, take my time.
Right.
Find out what I needed to do in order to navigate France, because I'd never really thought about it before.
Right,
and I needed time to think about where to stay and what to do.
Right, yeah.
Next thing you know, my mom is running from this bus in Dover onto the ferry. I'm like, Mom, what are you doing? Anyway, next thing I know, we're on this ferry going to France.
Mm-hmm.
And we ended up in Calais, France, because the ferry was right there. She thought it was the only ferry, I guess, that was going or whatever. We didn't have time to think.
Right.
Get to France, we get to Calais, France. Then we're there, and I said, "Well, I just want to go to Paris." Like you go to France, you go to Paris, right? Exchange all the money. I said, "I want the French money, whatever that is." Now it's euros, I believe, but it wasn't euros at this time.
No.
Changed the money, and I said, "Oh, when does the train leave?" And she says, "Well, it won't be back until, I think it takes a lot longer than what I thought."
Right.
Turns out, we kind of looked at each other, my mom and I went, "Oh, yeah, we can't really do that because we've got to get back to Scotland for something."
Right.
So we didn't really have time, so we had to exchange our money back, but we had to, it cost us money to do
Each time.
each time we did that. Anyway, it's kind of a joke. So we ended up staying in Calais, France for the evening.
Right.
Got the boat back, got the bus back to Scotland, and my mom still, this was years ago, and my mom still talks about never being able to get to Paris. So to make a long story short.
There we go. So Colleen decided we'd give her some fabric. Nope.
Oh.
It's all good. One side's upside down, one side's right side up. So there it is. So this is directional fabric, as I was mentioning with the hockey one. So I had to do the fancy thing to change it up. But there's the Eiffel Tower. There's all kinds of lovely things about Paris in there. So we thought
I love this. Now you picked this out.
Yes. I picked
That
the
is a
fabric
perfect. Isn't that perfect colors for that?
Yeah.
Like the black and the gray.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I thought it was nice.
Yeah, really nice.
So that's for
She's
May's
gonna like
mom.
that, and she'll get the joke. It's not really a joke, but she does mention it on a regular basis.
There we go.
She
never got to Paris. So there we are.
Yes.
So her pillow will have been to Paris. There we are. Now, my mom already has hers. Because her bedspread is a certain color and I wanted to get it to match. And, it's getting to be that time of year and COVID's going on. Like, there's a whole lot of things. I thought I need to cheer this woman up. So I gave her hers a little early. So that's nice. And it's floral and it really suits her bedspread nicely. Now, I made 2 of these, but we'll just show you one. So this is for my son and his wife who have a lovely puppy dog. And there it is.
That's a nice one.
I've got all these little bits of thread that I didn't over there. There we go.
Again, great color choice. Look at that.
That's right. We talked about putting a black band and we thought it would be too harsh.
But
so
the
that's
blue works out perfect.
Right. And we thought at some point in time this would make a nice one of those the towel things that I was showing.
Holders, yes.
Yeah.
So any kind of fabric you have left over, because I'm sure those towels don't take up a ton of fabric.
No, not too much
Like
fabric.
you probably have tons of that around. You
Yes,
can make
I
a
do.
lot of those.
Yep, absolutely.
Right.
So that's that one.
That's nice. I like the choices there.
Now, my son who lives in Hong Kong is a music guy. So May and I went and found some music. This was not directional fabric, so it made my life a lot easier.
This is nice. I don't know if you can see that on the video.
It's all
but
musical
it's all music
notes.
That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, great color choice.
Yeah, we're happy. That's half the fun of this.
I know. Like, I love going to fabric stores and
Yeah.
matching up and
Yeah.
seeing. That's my
That's
favorite
right.
part of it all. Not
Exactly.
the sewing part.
That's my job.
Yes.
There we are.
But I love picking out fabric. That's why I'm sure a lot of sewers have so much fabric.
Right. I wonder if they call a bunch of fabric a stash as well.
Probably.
Maybe. Because I have both. All right, and then my son from Hong Kong's girlfriend, I asked him what colors, and he said she likes pink and seafoam green. So we thought we would try pink and seafoam green.
That's nice too.
Yep, I like that one as well.
Yeah, maybe you could do a tutorial on how to do these. You must be getting good at it.
You know what? I am. I'm getting better at it. I got it all figured out. I know what to do with the directional fabric. So it does change it up a bit.
Right.
So that might even be 2 tutorials. Yeah. I could do that.
That would be a great gift idea.
Exactly.
Very nice.
There we are. So those are my pillowcases and tea towel. And May, now let's talk about you and finished objects.
Okay. Now, if you've known and you've watched this podcast, you know I don't go in the kitchen very often. But I thought Colleen's been busy downstairs with sewing machine, and she's trying to get gifts ready, and she's trying to crochet some things for the craft fair. Just super busy. It's time I stepped up to the plate, maybe took care of dinner, so you didn't have to take that off
and
your
I
plate.
appreciate it very much.
So I've been looking at different recipes, and I bought a pull-apart chicken, and I made chicken soup for one night with a nice bun for dinner. And with that chicken, I also made a super nice chicken pot pie. I've never done it before.
It was lovely.
I will put a tutorial up at some point of how I
Okay.
did that, because the recipe was absolutely amazing.
It was good.
The pie is huge, as you can see from the photos in here. Turned out amazing. I gave some to my mom, gave my mom some soup. And that's the problem when you have 2 people. Trying to feed, I find all the recipes are like for 4, for 6.
That's right.
And so the pot pie one was for that big pie. So my next plan is to maybe talk about buying a pull-apart chicken, Colleen.
Right.
Doing 3 different meals for 2.
Okay.
Or maybe doing a whole series of how to cook for 2 people.
Right.
Because it is really difficult.
Yes, absolutely.
If you want a good, healthy meal.
Yeah.
To bring out, you buy a whole big cabbage. What do you do with that? You've been eating cabbage forever.
For sure.
And the reason why I picked the pull-apart or the rotisserie chicken was because Colleen doesn't like chicken the next day.
No.
Like, you'll eat it once. So I end up eating this rotisserie chicken for like a week. And I start bok, bok, bok after about a week. And so I thought, if I can come up with some recipes that would incorporate that, then you would be able to eat it. And you ate it for 2 days? You didn't even realize you were eating it for 2 days.
Well, I might have realized, but I appreciated it very much. I am not unaware of what I'm eating. That's for sure.
You realize you were eating it for 2 days, but...
3 days.
3 days we had, because the pie lasted another day.
Pie last was 2, soup was 3. Yeah, it was great.
But if you have any ideas of how I can come up with another meal, so I've got the soup, the chicken pie I'm going to make just for 2, because that was way too much for the 2 of us.
Right.
And my mom. And I'm going to make another something. If you can come up with an idea, that would be great.
That's a great idea.
So I've been busy looking. Oh, and also I made some Scottish tablet. Never made it before in my life. I've watched my mom make it. Colleen watched her ex-in-laws make it through the years and failed and succeeded.
Yep.
My mom has failed and succeeded. And I made it for the very first time, following the instructions. Now, I had a thermometer, and I don't think my mom had a thermometer, which I found was helpful, like any thermometer, which helps give you a gauge.
Exactly.
And it turned out, I don't think it's perfect, but it's edible.
It's lovely.
Scottish tablet, that is. So
It's like fudge. It's a little different than fudge. It's similar to fudge, but it's not fudge.
Similar to fudge, but it's not fudge.
Right.
And now my friend Kathy, who lives up north, who has that home by the lake,
near Halliburton,
who has the maple trees, she gave me all that maple syrup. Now, Colleen and I love having pancakes, but I'm scared to open the bottle of maple syrup that she gave us, which is lovely because we had some around her house. That bottle of maple syrup, I'm going to make fudge with that.
Okay.
So watch for that. I'm excited about trying to do that.
That's right.
You'll be sorry you unleashed me at this kitchen.
There you go. Exactly. I might be roly-poly. That might happen.
And I must say, since I've started cooking, I've probably gained about 5 pounds. True.
Well,
because I'm eating all the wrong things.
Okay, we have to have a taste so you know if it's any good.
Yes, so I'm going to have to start doing meals for 2.
Right.
And also healthy meals.
Okay.
Try and kind of corporate. Right now, they're not really being that healthy. A lot of sugar, a lot of this and that.
All that good stuff. Yeah.
Anyway, it has been fun to be in the kitchen, and I hope it's helped you be able to be in the basement.
Absolutely, getting those pillowcases made.
Yes.
So those are our finished objects, and next we're going to talk about works in progress. Well, my works in progress are kind of our works in progress, and basically what we have is a list of all the baking that we have to get done by Christmas. So we've talked about making some shortbread. We've talked about making some millionaire shortbread. We've talked about making some brigadeiro. We've talked,
which is a Brazilian kind of dessert.
Candy, yeah. We've talked about making another Brazilian, it's kind of shortbread with dulce de leche in it. And we've talked about making lemon squares. We have talked about a lot. And so we've got lots of lovely recipes and lots of lovely ingredients in the cupboard. I have to do a little bit of grocery shopping tomorrow.
I think I'm going to videotape everything that we do, and then in the new year I'm going to put it up so that we have those, or you have them for a reference.
Right.
Because some of the things that we've tested, we've had 60 some odd years to test the recipes that we like.
Exactly.
And so they're really quite good recipes. We don't just put a recipe up and, at this age you don't want to do something willy-nilly and that doesn't taste good. We know they taste all great. And they turn out pretty good.
Yeah. So that's our works in progress.
There's some other works in progress that you've been doing. Colleen's been busy crocheting. You know those Lovey Lovables?
Yes, I do.
Well, we can't keep them in stock.
Right.
And every time Colleen takes one to Pickleball, somebody orders another one.
Right.
So you've been busy doing that, but we don't have them to show because you just make them as fast as you make them, they go out the door.
Exactly.
So those would be your works in progress.
Yeah, and I've got a couple that are on order right now, but I can't get the yarn. So
maybe they could help you get this yarn.
Well, it's at Michael's, and anyway, I keep looking. It's a certain color that it has to be because it's the certain kind that they want. So anyway, I'm in waiting. But the good thing is I need to wait because my arm and my wrist, it needs to have a bit of a rest.
Yes, because you've been very busy.
Well, it's funny. I was trying to pull pins out of the fabric like this. And you thought, oh my gosh, how can pins out of fabric? But it's just all this... the physiotherapist, I was talking to him about it, and he said it's all this movement. He said anything that's like real weightlifting or anything, it doesn't do it, but it's all that kind of movement, which is what knitting and crocheting and all that kind of stuff is. So those are our works in progress, and next we're going to talk about our adventure.
Our adventure was our craft show, and that's a big adventure because leading up to the craft show there's a lot of organizing, a lot of preparing, putting the table together, checking things out, tagging things, pricing things, making sure everything's got a price tag on it and it's displayed if it's not on there, what we're going to sell, what we're not going to sell. I put a little video together, and in this video I am featuring the Woolly Knitster, which was one of what I had talked about earlier, and also the Cozy Glow, and they'll be in this video and featured in the display. Colleen I will talk through it as we go through it.
Right.
It's kind of a sporadic kind of little video, but it gives you an idea of the day and what's involved.
Right.
You don't really see us unpacking the car. I think it was raining or
it was
drizzling.
very cold.
Very cold. And a lot of work, but it's 4 days. Once you're there, it's kind of neat that you're set up.
That's right.
And then we do a great thing because we put all our stuff in clear bins to pack up.
Right.
And they're a great size for us to lift. So there's a few things that we've learned to do that's made life a lot easier. And by setting it up at home makes life easier because when you get there, you're not trying to make decisions.
Right.
It's pretty much done there. And when you see it in the video, you'll see how big the actual place really is. That's what I wanted to really capture. I didn't get store on store on store.
No.
Because I didn't want to bother people. They're setting up and that type of thing.
Absolutely.
But it'll give you an idea. So we'll go ahead and put that video in, and then we'll come back. Now we just set up in the basement, and I find that this is easier for when you get there. You're not, take that off the table. You know that you don't have to worry.
It's really good practice for sure.
It is, and we've changed it quite a few times in the basement.
That's right.
So, and also what we do is we take photographs with our phone, and then we use the phone as a reference when we get there.
Yes.
Now we've arrived. The car's full. We have 2 wagons. I'm following behind Colleen in a wagon. And the nice thing about it, this is just kind of odd things when we start with, just to check out our space. I'm not sure why Colleen didn't put the bags in the wagon, but you like carrying it, I guess.
No, the bag was full. The bin was full. The wagon was full.
I pile my wagon right up, and usually we have the clear bins and they fit right in the wagon, which turns out nice. And we park away, as you can see, that parking lot gets chaotic. Here it is. This just gives you an idea of the enormity of the place. It's huge.
Exactly. Lots of booths, lots of different crafts. Unbelievable. Now May likes to wander and check things out, so that's helpful. These folks have beautiful lanterns. They were there last year as well. I'm sure they've been there for many years. There was all different kinds of things. And May would come back to the booth and say, oh, I just saw this. She's all excited.
And I didn't want to spend too much time, you know, bothering people. As you can see, they're all trying to set up. But look at the British bakery, British goods.
I know.
And they sold breakfast in the morning, so they would make an announcement that there was bacon and eggs or something in the morning. And
we thought about it.
Not about making them, but about eating them.
That's right. Absolutely.
And I'm just taking like a general idea of photos here just to show you how big this is. It goes on forever. Here's our booth. We're not quite finished setting it up. We're just starting, but it's so much easier when we've done it at home and we know what we're doing.
That's right. And our practice tables were 6 foot, and these are 8 foot tables. And so it's actually good because we had more room to spread out.
That's right. I see your bowl cozies were over there. We sold every one of those.
Yeah, every single one.
Yep. Would you make more of those?
Absolutely, I would, yes.
I'm sure you have enough fabric down there in your fabric
I have
stash.
lots of fabric, yes.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when you go around and you see, you think, oh, I could do that, I could do that, I could do that. And then you start to diversify too much. So we need to go through, oh, there's the pillowcase lady.
Yeah.
And the tea towel lady too.
Oh, they were selling wood. Sorry, I'm going too fast here. I'm just so excited about looking at everything. The man over here, what caught my eye was those hockey sticks. I thought that was kind of cool. And one of his cutting boards at the bottom there had bullets inside it. It's surrounded by bullets and bullet casings.
Yeah.
And then on the inside, he put some bullets.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
Here's our booth again.
Yeah, and you had some dolphins.
Oh yes, I sold a couple of sets of those dolphins, the Intarsia,
really
which
nice.
was great. We actually sold those before we even opened. One lady walked by and liked them, and she bought those dolphins. So that was good. And Colleen's knitting some product.
I am. That's for sure. I definitely had to crochet some of those knotted loveys, that's for sure.
Those were a very big hit, so they all sold well, but also you had them priced really well.
Yes, I did.
Like I noticed somebody else at a booth way down had them, smaller, and they were probably $58, $68.
Oh, okay.
So your price range was really good.
That's right. They're fun to do, that's for sure.
You might have to look at that next year. I don't know, because $38 seemed like, for the amount of work I see you make them.
That's right.
I don't know if $38 is really enough. But the lambs did really well, and Colleen had to crochet a couple of the lambs. We sold everything that was there.
Right.
And then you crocheted a couple of lambs that you just put on the table the next day and sold.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's probably why my arm's feeling tired these days.
Yeah. And even the little turtles. I think we sold out of all the little turtles. This is before we started the actual show. And there's the cowl displayed there, the one that I'm wearing today.
Right.
And the chickens, the emotional support chickens did well too. If anything, they were a showstopper, and we had a whole other bin of those, and we sold all of those too.
That's right.
So a lot of people are going to be waking up with a chicken in their stocking or something. Yep. Now the cowl displayed there on the right did not sell well, but the one with the buttons, big seller again. That's just a given, right? This is our neighbor. They sold cookies. Now these cookies came in a box. There were 6 cookies in a box, and each box was $15. And this person replenished that about 4 times.
Exactly.
They sold cookies like crazy, and I think their marketing strategy was
that there's whiskey
alcohol in them. But
whiskey in their cookies.
Yeah. So unbelievable. And now we're going to go talk about the Woolly Knitster. And that's our buddy, Marge, and her stuff is amazing.
She's got, the kids' slippers are beautiful. Her work is really nice. She's a great knitter. Absolutely. And she's got some different, like high-end things and some not so high-end things. I fell in love with this pair of mittens, and I was thinking I should have them.
I love that cowl. Like, I love that.
It is. It's a nice bandana cowl, that's for sure.
Are those bags you were selling? Are those crocheted or knit?
They look like they're knit.
Yeah, she does a great job. Look at how she displays her items. Like, just beautiful. You'll probably find the knit store at craft fairs throughout London.
Which is a great
area.
job.
Yeah.
Some slippers, headbands, all kinds of things.
I love that blue and white one too. That's nice.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, display's lovely. Love those little boots. And I think that there's her. Now we're going to go on to her daughter, who sells the candles on the other side of the booth. But their displays are just amazing.
They're beautiful.
Like all that woodworking back there, all that pine that they do to set up.
It makes it look like a little store.
Oh, it
That's
does.
really nice.
Like it's amazing. Like it's so professional. I think we could all learn something from the Woolly Knitster and the Cozy Glow for how to display items.
Exactly.
I think they could go into business and learn how to do that. Now they're just setting up. I just want to be in their way too much.
Right.
But I think the dad's exhausted because I think he had to lug all that stuff in.
For sure.
That's a lot, that heavy candles and everything.
That's right.
And there's Marge there with your back to you.
And their labels are amazing. Products amazing.
And there's Jen fixing her candles, getting them all ready. They do a great job.
Absolutely.
And they're really nice people. We appreciate them when we go to a show. It's always nice to see a familiar face.
That's right.
We first met Jen and her mom at Wortley, so that was nice. But anyway, it was a great show and we had a good time. Well, I hope you liked that little video. It gives you an idea what our 4 days was like. It was very successful. The booths are quite expensive there, but for 4 days, it was well worth it.
And we got a corner booth this time, and it was worth the extra money.
Right, absolutely. Colleen and I are talking about whether or not we'll do the soap again. The soap did sell somewhat, but not as well as what the knitting did.
Right.
So we're going to have a business meeting in January.
Right.
Definitely going to go back next year and to see what will sell and what won't sell.
Right.
Now they've changed some of the Ontario regulations on using a commercial kitchen for some bakeware.
Oh, okay.
They did that in 2020. So I'm wondering if, because we used to do cakes and that's what stopped us from going on.
We had to have a commercial kitchen. You're
Not that we're going to bake cakes, because that was a big undertaking.
It was.
But, maybe some baking, maybe some fudge. If the fudge turns out and different
you
things,
never
we
know.
could sell more than
That's right.
than the soap would. So,
That's right.
because, everybody likes to eat, but not everybody likes to wash themselves.
Well, I wouldn't quite put it that way, but
when you get to our age, I find you've been using products for years.
right.
And you get kind of used to the same product. You're not into change.
Right. I see what
Like,
you're
I don't
saying.
think I would start using a new kind of soap.
Oh, I use our soap for sure.
Yes.
But I know what you're saying.
But I'm not a new kind.
Right. I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, maybe that's why people aren't, our vintage is mostly our target group.
Right.
But our target group loves to eat.
Yes,
our
they
target
do.
group likes sweets. So,
Yeah.
it might be an idea that we
That's
could
right.
put out there. But
Right.
anyway, that was our adventure.
Okay. And so next we're going to talk about souvenirs. For me, souvenirs involve my advent calendars. And so every day I get a little souvenir.
And you put this on Instagram too.
Yes. So if you've been watching on Instagram, you'll see. And I try really hard to always put up what the calendar looks like before I put up the thing. So if you, for instance, have a caterpillar cross stitch one, you're going to know that it's day 14 and this is what happened. So I'm just going to talk about some. So the one is the Walker Shortbread, which is lovely. And every day you get some kind of shortbread. So some are different shapes and some have chocolate chips and some have toffee bits in them. And I have not missed a day eating my shortbread. So it's been a great souvenir. I've actually really enjoyed that. I mean, I love shortbread, so that helps. If you didn't like shortbread, no. But I love it, and I like Walker shortbread as well.
Right. The only way I like shortbread is if it's covered in chocolate. So the Millionaire shortbread is perfect.
So that's that. The second one is my stitch marker advent calendar from Firefly Notes, and this has been fun. So there's stitch markers, there's progress keepers. I have the little tin that I can put them in so I'm not losing anything. And this is all, it's called, what is it called? I think it's called Forest and Forest and Feathers is what it's called. So there's some birds, there's some like deer, and there's skunks and all kinds of different stitch markers and progress keepers. So it's been kind of fun.
It's too bad you can't just buy these cardboard things and do our own little things. Like, because I know somebody that likes birds, that you can do things in there. Or somebody that likes little woodworking, do some things in there. It would be kind of neat. Very nice.
All right, now this one we have to be careful because to open it, there we go.
And there's a picture you see at the end of this one?
So what you'll see, if we can do it without, there we are. So the ones that have the picture on it are the ones that have already been turned around. So I haven't done the ones for today. But this is the caterpillar cross stitch one. So you can see that it's starting, there's not quite as many there. So there's been some Aida cloth, and there's been some embroidery floss, and there's been some needles, and there's been a lovely pair of scissors and all kinds of good things. So this has been fun. If you've got somebody that you know that likes cross stitch, you can think about getting them one of these for next year. It is a bit of an investment, and I don't think I would need to do another one. I've been really, really enjoying this one, but all the little things are little things that I'll use. Yes.
Good.
And so it's neat that you get to turn the box around.
That's good.
There's the 16th, and there we go.
Nice.
So those are my souvenirs, and every day is another souvenir. And as May said, you'll see it on Instagram. And May?
Yes, souvenirs. I've been buying, going to the grocery store and picking up custard and things that I don't normally pick up. So that's been kind of my little souvenirs, buying things like that.
Right.
And also when we were at the craft fair, we bought edibles. Remember?
Carrot cake. Ooh, it was good.
It was so good. The lady there does a lot of cooking. She did a lot of baking. And we had carrot cake, I think, twice.
We did.
It was so good.
Really, really good.
But we won't talk about that's the beginning of me gaining this weight. But I'm working on it. I'm not going to worry about it till the new year.
No, there's no sense in worrying about it.
Now, here is what I bought. This is the Toronto Maple. It's one way is up. It was just directional.
It is. You purposely do it because on this side you need it to be right side up. But when this comes over, you want that to be right side up. So it has to be technically upside down on the back.
Oh, okay. So this was what the inspiration was behind this one.
Right.
And I really like it. I think my son's going to love this. So it's got the Toronto Maple Leafs, and it's great. And that's that fabric where we're talking about that's copyrighted. But
yes.
Anyway, very nice, and I think you'll get a lot of use out of that because he is a cook.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Well, this could be our last podcast until 2025. We look forward to seeing you in 2025.
Absolutely.
We've got Colleen and I will be doing some tutorials. Hopefully, that is our goal. We're looking forward to doing that and spending more time with you next year. Hope everyone's healthy.
That's right.
And
thanks so much for watching. If you like what you're seeing, give us a thumbs up, comment down below,
ring that bell,
and subscribe because we really do like doing this for you. So until next time,
you take care.